Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Don't forget, if you like the video, click on like and subscribe and talk about it on chat lines, wherever it is your social media activities, and help us to grow and help more people. I'll talk to you soon. Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today I want to talk to you about how to delete our memory. And I know it's kind of fascinating or surprising to speak that way, but if you notice the way the mechanism of remembering something or becoming good at something works, then logically you can see the reverse of it would also help you to unremember things or delete things or not become good at the things that you don't want to be good at. If you have a mechanism in you that can make you become good at things that you want to be good at, you also can be not good at in the things that you don't want to be good at. So let's examine it together. I made this a video on this topic a long while ago, a few years ago, and we have over 90,000 views on it, but it's a 15-minute one. So I try to do it, let's say, in 4 minutes if I can. So let's jump into it. Look, the difference that we have, one of the differences that we have between how we used to be before we were given this kind of a brain that we have today, 40,000 years ago, in other words, when we had a reptilian brain, STEM brain, versus this sophisticated kind that we have, which we've been blessed with, and I say blessed with in brackets because it is a source of lots of problems itself, this brain. But nevertheless, in this context, the brain that we've been blessed with has the capability of helping us to become good at things, and because of that, we are able to advance in certain things. But this ability comes with a curse too, which means we can also become really good at something that is not good for us, something that we don't want to be good at. If we don't pay attention to the mechanism, we can inadvertently become good at things that we actually don't want to have anything to do with, and we actually find them annoying and bothersome. So let's examine it. Look, we have a capability of becoming good at things that we do a lot of. For example, if you play lots of soccer, or you play tennis a lot, practice it, or let's say you play piano or try to learn a new language and you practice it on a daily basis, there's a mechanism that we have in our brain. The two ends of the neurons have receptors. And when you keep doing something, the receptors learn and become aware that your intention and attention is on something that you find it necessary to be good at, so you can do it better. For that reason, they create a pathway between the two ends of the synaptic neurons, and they create a bridge, so this information in the form of neurotransmitters will pass through from one end of the neuron to the other one through these receptors, and they allow this pathway to carry that information to the next neuron, and then facilitates you to learn that thing and to become good at it, to remember the procedure to accomplish that task, whatever it is. Learning a language, playing piano, playing soccer, tennis, whatever it may be. And so the more you do it, the more pathways, the more bridges between other synaptic neurons would be created. So the more you do it, the more of these bridges are created, the better you become, the stronger this connection, these pathways would become, and you become eventually an expert in what it is that you've set out to become good at. Tennis, learning languages, piano, soccer, whatever it may be. Now, you've noticed that when you don't do something that you used to do a lot and were good at, you're no longer that good at it anymore. You used to play lots of soccer and you were really good at it. You're not a star player anymore. Piano, you haven't played it for a long time. You're no longer as good and smooth and flowing as you used to play the piano. And the language is the same. If you don't practice, you don't use it, you're not in that country to use it on a daily basis, you become a little rusty. And the longer you don't use it, the worse you become at that, what you used to be good at. Now that works with anything. Like if you have a bad habit and you keep doing it, well, you become good at that bad habit. And the same thing goes for the bad habits that you've become good at it, as it is for the things that you wanted to be good at and you became good at by practicing a lot. What do I mean is that when you stop practicing something that you've been doing a lot of and you had become good at and fluent in it, there are cells called glial cells that they are responsible for the speed of this movement of information between the synaptic neurons and how fast this whole distribution of activities to make you good at something takes place. Think of glial cells as the referee of a soccer match. It coordinates or directs the flow of the game, the speed of the game. But because there's only so many numbers of these players can be present in the pitch, in the field at the same time, you can't keep adding more players to make your team stronger. In other words, if you want to learn something new, then you got to stop learning something else in a way. Like you become better at something, not good at some other thing, because you're paying more attention. So more synaptic neurons are going to be built to make you good at that one thing that you're paying more attention to these days. What I'm trying to say is that when you don't play something, when you don't practice something, there are certain cells called microglial cells that they go and hunt these synaptic neurons that are no longer being used. Like what you don't do as often as you used to are being marked by glial cells by a protein called C1q, and then when you sleep the brain shrinks about 60%, and microglial cells go and find these C1qs that have marked certain bridges between two synaptic neurons that you're not using anymore, and they destroy them. Why they destroy them? They destroy them because there's only so much of them they can make, and if you're not using them to become good at something, like speaking that language or playing piano, they need to be destroyed because they're not used, and it's noticed that they're not being used, they're dormant, so you can learn other things. This is how you unlearn playing piano. This is how you unlearn being good at soccer. This is how you forget something. This is how you delete your certain expertise. Which means if there are negative thoughts or something that you don't want to be focused on constantly and it's not to your liking, like a relationship has broken down or some breakup or emotional hardship, or negative thoughts appear into your heads, intrusive thoughts appear into your head, or whatever it is that it's not to your liking, but you constantly see it happening in your head, is because you're paying attention to it, and the more you pay attention to it, the more synaptic neurons are created to make you good at something that you actually don't want. So the remedy to that is exactly like when you stop playing piano, or you stop practicing that particular language that you were good at, or playing soccer, which means if you ignore these negative emotions or thoughts or whatever it is that bothers you, and don't entertain it or pay attention to it, it acts as a signal to the brain that these are not necessary. I want to learn other things. I don't want to pay my time and attention on these things. So when you don't pay attention to them, the synaptic neurons that have made you be good at these intrusive thoughts or negative thoughts or emotional or breakups or memories to constantly be there, they will be marked, those synaptic neurons, those bridges, by C1q, and microglial cells, when you sleep, they go and destroy them. And little by little, the less you use them, the better you become at not using them, and the more they get destroyed, and the easier it would be for you to delete them out of the presence in the real estate of your brain. So you will not see them or have to deal with them because you have reconditioned your synaptic neurons, your brain, rewire them through neuroplasticity, meaning doing something a lot or not doing something at all, and it has reversed the availability of that kind of a nuisance, and that disappears and deletes out of your memory. I hope that was something useful to you, and if you have any questions, put the comments down. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell so when we go live, you can participate in our live discussions about things that concern you, having to do with thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, and the rest of it. I'll talk to you soon. Make sure to subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. And mind@seekstruth.com is always making it one step away and so close to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.